JongLi, and I'm bringing you another online commentary battle for Rome Total War. This is the second battle we had with Thor and Mohamed. I'm playing alongside Axlieas again. We're all playing as the same factions. And the only change really is that Mohamed has decided to opt for 2 more cav instead of those 3 archers. So he's got a bit more infantry and a bit more cavalry. But he's lost that skirmishing power he had before. So over here, apparently Thor glitched a bit, and his guys got a bit too close to Axlieas' men. Axlieas couldn't turn off his peeler in time, so Thor does get peelered in the back quite a bit. But we let him regroup. Over here, Mohamed's just squaring up to me. I'm making sure that I stick to Axlieas, don't get isolated. Thor has regrouped and is now making his way to Axlieas. As you can see, Axlieas has made this far left flanking move with his cav. I'm not a fan of this. I think it isolates your teammate too much, but it's up to him. And yeah, it does deter any cav charge straight to his front. I saw here that Thor was making these small advances before Mohamed could catch up. Perhaps some miscommunication there. So my plan was to find an opening in this and move up before Mohamed could move forward to support Thor. And this opportunity kind of comes when Thor starts maneuvering his whole army to our left. I see this and I start maneuvering out my whole army here in an attempt to block Mohamed off from supporting Thor. And because I also realize that Mohamed is pulling his cav this way, Thor is throwing all his guys this way, and this is going to be really decisive. So over here, I've blocked his first line, but he's got these back lines here which can still run across to support Thor. And so I start worrying about this, and I decide to pull even further this way, even though this does rip my guys against the pikes, and I do take losses from that. Mohamed sees this, and he seizes the opportunity to do a cav charge. This is really good, and it routs like a lot of my men and kills a lot of them in the process. So that was probably not the most valuable move I could have made. But I do manage to turn Mohamed's army and isolate Thor from most of the support he can get. As you can see, I was going to go for a counter, but Mo pulled out too fast. Over here, Axlieas has just been fighting Thor's cav, and so far it's quite even, but Thor's going to get a counter charge here, so a bit premature by Axlieas, but it is quite even. Thor's playing what I think is way too defensively with too many testudos, so Axlieas is pushing quite aggressively with his cavalry and infantry. Mohamed has put his cav here and is backing up Thor. And here he's going for a cav strike on these units over here, which is a very good move. Hopefully frees up this gap, because this is what's holding him from moving across to help Thor. I'm doing small cav strikes and routing Thor's testudos. Axlieas is doing a pretty good job of pushing with his infantry here, and he's also fighting off Thor's cav with his infantry as well. Here I'm going for a bit of a charge. It doesn't do too much, but some of my guys are routing, and over here Mohamed has 4 units stuck on this like 1 unit, so I thought he could probably have just moved this unit away, and he probably wasted some time here that he shouldn't have. I have my cav here ready to counter Mohamed if he comes in for a cav strike on Axlieas. Axlieas has some cav coming back, so now his cav is very similar to what Thor has. I go in for a small strike here, Axlieas goes in for a strike here, and both Thor and Mohamed go for the same cav strike. But Axlieas pulls his cav out in time, and now I've got this really nice charge that will go straight into this pack. And as you can see, Axlieas is going for the counter charge as well, and this slice just breaks everything. And Thor's infantry, they just break. Most of his cav breaks, and even his general breaks. So that was a really crucial move. I'm trying to bank on this and hopefully route some more of Thor's testudos. But some of my guys do get caught on these pikes, so I take a few losses there. But on this, our right flank, Mohamed has the clear infantry advantage, but for this whole game he has not been pushing it, and my guys are all on guard mode, which means they won't be plunging straight into the pikes and making moves against his men. So they've just been static here and providing a threat for these guys the whole time. Now we can see that we have a really big cav advantage, despite there being a glitch here, and I've got some cav stuck here. Axlieas has his cav here, so he's got 4 units of cav left. Mohamed has 4 units of cav left, and I believe Thor has 1 unit of cav left, or maybe it's been routed. I've got pretty much a full set of cav except for these units that have glitched over here, and Axlieas has 1 random dude who's stuck here as well, as you can see, and my guys are stuck. So they were refusing to move. It was really strange, but Axlieas has managed to wrap around this flank with some of his infantry, and Thor is starting to push around this flank with his infantry because he sees that my numbers are quite low here. I'm using this 1 testudo to block off a lot of these guys, and I'm not pushing with these guys, but I'm pushing with my general because my general is engaged on this flank, so I've taken them out of guard mode so that they'll enter melee combat. One of my units has come back, so I'm just throwing this here, and the point of this move is to try and stop any infantry from supporting Mohamed's cavalry if he decides to push around this flank. I've put some cav here to counter charge in case Mohamed goes for a straight in cav charge, which is unlikely, but it's a possibility. So over here my guys are dying, and I go for a cav strike here because I see this unit's back is turned, but these units are still facing forwards, and so this becomes a really terrible blow, and I lose pretty much half of all these units. It's down to 17 and down to like 29. Before these were almost full units, so that was pretty bad. Luckily I still have this 1 urban unit here to kind of tank this. Over here Axlieas is facing off against Mohamed, and here one of Thor's cav has come back, and a unit of Mohamed's, which routed with 120 men, which is a full unit, has come back. So they're bringing in some fresh dudes. They're full numbers even though they're winded. And I've brought 3 cavalry over here, and the goal of this is the only goal of these 3 cav is to rout all the enemy's cav, or as much of it as I can. So here I go in for a slice charge here, but Mohamed sees and he turns them around in time. My charge was really good though, and it does quite a bit of damage. I was a bit worried here because Mohamed has swung 2 of his pikes around and is coming straight for my rear, but as a result of that my urbans over here have pushed in far enough and routed this 1 unit, so now I can start wrapping this flank, and I've still got my 3 cav in reserve over here. As you can see, my superior melee with my Praetorians has made quite a bit of difference, and Mohamed's pikes come just out of time, so they came just late, and I was able to run away with my cav and keep all 3 units even though they're quite depleted. And at this point Mohamed's only got about 7 or 8 units of pikes left. I've got some infantry on the sides, and it seems that Mohamed's general has died, so that's going to hit Macedon's morale quite heavily, and also as Macedonian pikes don't have as much morale as other heavy pike factions. So I come in for a charge here because the general is dead, and it pretty much mass routes the rest of Mohamed's men, and that was was the game. And yes, I did forget about these units over here. I should have used them to push with Axlieas around this left flank. But yeah, this patch was definitely quite stupid, and some of my units did glitch here. In the end, I managed to pull them out very slowly, but they got out of there. And yeah, so the cav glitch was annoying, but we managed to do it without that 5 or 6 cav. It was actually quite a close game, and I think banking on Thor's separation and probably the lack of communication between Thor and Mohamed really helped out, and being able to stall Mohamed from getting his pikes around and helping Thor in the cav fight really paid off. Also the counter charges and that all-in cav charge on this left flank over here, that really made a difference to the result, and I think Axlieas' use of cav and my use of cav managed to bring home the victory on this one. So, well played to Thor and Mohamed and Axlieas. I thought that was a great game, and despite the glitch at the start, we all played quite well. So thanks for watching, guys.